Hey guys, this is my video quiz over chapters 15 through 19. The two things that I have for chapter 15, number one is speaking about processes. And the quote that I got from it was, when informing about a process, you will usually arrange your speech in chronological order. I really liked that. I used that for my informative speech, so I thought that that was really interesting. Number two was guidelines for informative speaking, and those guidelines were: don't overestimate what the audience knows, relate the subject directly to the audience, don't be too technical, avoid abstractions, personalize your ideas, be creative. And I felt like those were really good and they really helped me formulate my speech, so I thought that was nice. Chapter 16 um, was the number one. I just had a quote, and it was, persuasion is a psychological process, and that's really true. I mean, you think about, like crime movies, they're always trying to persuade them to like tell the truth and stuff. So I thought that was cool. And number two was persuasive speeches on questions of fact. There were three things. One was, what are questions of fact, analyzing questions of fact, and organizing speeches on questions of fact, and how the steps that you can do that. And it was really helpful to me. Chapter 17 was methods of persuasion. The number one thing was building credibility. So the factors, types, and enhancing your credibility. And I think that credibility is really good, and that you need that in order to people to know that you know what you're talking about. Number two was tips for using evidence. So use specific evidence, use novel evidence, make clear of the point of your evidence, not that you just have some random evidence and you're using it, but it doesn't have anything to do with your speech. Chapter 18, the first thing was speeches of acceptance, and the purpose is to give thanks for a gift or an award. And I've done a couple of those at school, and so I thought that little section was really interesting. And commemorative speeches, not to inform your listeners, but to inspire them. I actually gave my goodbye speech at my graduation because I was student body president, and that speech was a goodbye speech, and I wanted to inspire them. I wanted my words to affect them in a positive way. And so I thought that part was really cool. Chapter 19, number one is leadership in small groups. And the two things were kinds of leaderships and functions of leaderships. And I think that's a really good part to put in that book, because you need at least a source of leadership, and how you learn that from that book is really, really interesting. And the second thing is the reflective thinking method. Number one is define the problem. 2, analyze the problem. 3, establish criteria. 4, generate potential solutions. And 5, select the best solutions. I really liked that section. I thought it was really interesting how you can use that in a speech and how you use that in everyday life. And so those were the things that I found most interesting and that really spoke out to me in those 4 chapters. So thank you guys.